Who doesn't love a bit of classic Disney? Here's a bit of a blog about how I made my Christmas redesign of Snow White. G'day everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Kiralee here. If you're new here, hello! So today I wanted to do a little bit of a progress vlog about my creation of Snow White in her Christmas outfit. Now originally the Christmas outfit was a design on a little figurine that was paired with Dopey. Unfortunately I missed my Dopey, but I made it with a few alterations. So the reason why I made Snow White was because it was for my Christmas party at my 9-to-5 job, and the theme for this Christmas party was Christmas. A little bit on the nose in terms of a theme, not the most inspired that they've come out with, but hey, it gave me the opportunity to make Snow White and this outfit, and I had a lot of fun wearing her, so you know, positives. If you'd like to check out the planning video that I made in relation to this project, I'll leave the link up here or down below in the description. I did use different fabrics than what I stated, at least some of the fabrics, just because I found some ones that worked better. Anyway, enjoy the video and I'll catch up with you at the end. G'day and welcome to the voiceover. So I'm starting off with the undergarments. What you're seeing here is my simple petticoat that I made for this project, since Snow White had a little bit of a white lace ruffle on the bottom of her petticoat, and the one I was going to use was just a straight skirt. If you want to see how I constructed that, I have a whole video on that, which I'll link in the cards now and in the description. And as you can see here, as I lift up the petticoat, I had another petticoat underneath for extra poof, which I later removed, and the green crinoline I made for Ariel earlier this year. It was the same shape that I needed, so I figured why not. I'll link the tutorial for that as well. Next, on to the beginning of the skirt. I've had this gorgeous red satin in my collection for approximately like 6 or 7 years, and I've been waiting for the right project to use it. So I made it into a 6-panel A-line skirt and had some scraps left over that I was going to make the bolero out of. But I miscalculated, but more on that later. So now we've skipped on a whole heap and the organza layer is sewn on with some bias binding at the waist. To be honest, there is a good 2 to 3 weeks between this clip and the last clip. I was super unmotivated and it just kind of sat on the dress form. After sewing the red panels together with French seams, I cut a long rectangular length of this organza, cut the excess off the top, and then just gathered it down to the waist. Now we're moving on to the bodice. I just used the mock-up I did and cut one out of the main fabric and one out of the lining. And the main fabric's together and it's looking good. In hindsight though, I should have added boning, but hey, at least I was comfortable. I've got the lining prepped too, so the next step was to pin and sew the lining and the main fabric together. So that's what I'm going to do here. Okay, bodice is together and I've got the zip in the back. I used my sleeve block, but rather than cutting it out like I did in my tutorial and create a puff sleeve, I just used it as a template for the straight sleeve and then took it in a bit. It was a stretch net, so it was super easy to work with. And with that, the bodice is done. Right, now if you've seen my bolero tutorial, then you'll recognize this. I'm about to start making it. And it was right about this time that I figured out I didn't quite have enough of the red satin left to make the entire bolero, so I actually used some of the spare broadcloth that I had in a similar shade for the sleeves. Oh, and I should also mention that I used the offcuts from the organza on the skirt for the bolero pieces, which, you know, is great. Waste not, want not. So I cut out all the pieces, and the process of cutting the organza out so the design worked well was probably the most tedious part of this entire project. But hey, it looks pretty. And with the bolero being sewed, it was at this point when I looked at the reference image again, the bodice is meant to have fur along the waist. I can't believe that I forgot that. But I'm just going to add it to the underside of the bodice because time is against me at this point and I can't unpick the bodice to put it in between the 2 layers. Look, nobody will know anyway, except you guys, because now I've told you. Don't tell anyone. Shh. finishing the look off is the tiara. That was my nan's that I've actually backed with a piece of the bodice fabric. And this is what the front looks like. And whilst we're at it, here is the back. The net sleeves look pretty sad, not filled out, but it's fine when on. And there is helper number 1, taffeta, and there's helper number 2, Lacey. They're such good girls. So my final thoughts on this project was that I had a lot of fun wearing it. It was a really good night, and I didn't die in the 38-degree heat at night, which I was really happy about because I was honestly very concerned about that. I really liked how the skirt came out, as well as I liked the bolero. The bodice came out quite nice as well, and it was really good to be able to wear my nan's tiara. So like, the costume itself was, I was happy with it. It was just that, well, it was not very difficult for me to put together. It was a somewhat simplistic costume. But yeah, I mean, that's fine. Sometimes you just need to make an easy cosplay without any challenges just to, you know, have some fun. Anyway guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions about how I constructed Snow White, please leave it in the comments below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!